It was a cold winter evening in a forgotten part of town. The streetlights flickered weakly, casting long shadows across the cracked sidewalks. Most families were already indoors, safe in the warmth of their homes. But inside a small worn-down apartment on the edge of the city, Daniel sat by the window with his 8-year-old son, Michael. Daniel was a single father, working double shifts at a factory, just to keep the lights on. His clothes were faded, his hands calloused, and his face carried the quiet exhaustion of a man who had seen too many hard days. Yet, when he looked at his son, there was always a softness in his eyes, a love that gave him the strength to endure one more day. That evening, Daniel was cooking their modest dinner, just canned soup and some bread, when he heard a faint knock at the door. Confused, he wiped his hands on a towel and went to answer it. Standing in the dim light was a young girl, maybe 17, trembling in the freezing air. She wasn't dressed for the cold, her jacket was thin, her shoes worn. Her eyes were red, as if she had been crying for hours. "Please," she whispered, her voice cracking. "I don't have anywhere to go tonight." Daniel froze for a moment. He had so little already, and the idea of another mouth to feed, even for one night, weighed heavily on him. But then he glanced at Michael, who was peeking curiously from behind his leg. How could he explain to his son that kindness only mattered when life was easy? With a sigh, Daniel stepped aside. "Come in. It's warm inside." The girl hesitated, then entered, clutching her small backpack tightly. Michael offered her a shy smile. Daniel served her a bowl of the soup meant for himself, leaving his own plate half empty. She ate quickly, as though she hadn't had a proper meal in days. When she finished, Daniel gave her a blanket and a spot on the old couch. "You can stay tonight. Tomorrow, we'll figure something out." For the first time that evening, the girl's eyes softened. "Thank you," she whispered. That night, Daniel lay awake. He didn't even know her name. But something about the way she held herself, the sadness in her face, reminded him of someone running from a heavy burden. In the morning, Daniel gently asked, "What's your name, sweetheart?" She hesitated, as if afraid to reveal too much. Finally, she said, "Emily." Over the next day, Emily helped around the apartment. She washed dishes, read stories to Michael, and even fixed a tear in his old backpack. Despite her youth, she carried herself with grace, speaking with a gentleness that made Daniel wonder where she had really come from. As the days turned into a week, Daniel noticed things. The way Emily's posture was too proper for a runaway, the way she spoke about books and art with a depth that didn't match her ragged clothes. But he never pressed her. She was safe, and that was enough. One night, Michael asked innocently, "Daddy, can Emily stay with us forever? She feels like family." Daniel smiled sadly. "Sometimes people are only meant to stay with us for a little while, son. But while they do, we give them love." Emily's eyes filled with tears. She turned away, pretending to adjust the blanket, but Daniel noticed. The following evening, everything changed. Daniel was walking home from work when he noticed black cars parked on his street. Men in suits stood outside his building, speaking urgently into radios. His heart sank. Had Emily been in trouble all along? As he reached his door, a woman in a fur coat stepped out of one of the cars. Her face was pale with worry. "Emily," she called desperately. Emily emerged slowly from the apartment, her eyes wide. "Mother." Daniel stood frozen, realization crashing over him. This wasn't just some runaway. Emily was the daughter of someone powerful, someone incredibly wealthy. Her mother rushed to her, pulling her into a fierce embrace. "We've been looking everywhere for you. Why would you disappear like that?" Emily's voice trembled. "I didn't want to live in a world where people only cared about money. I wanted to know what kindness felt like, the kind that wasn't but..." She turned, looking at Daniel. "And I found it here." The mother's eyes followed her daughter's gaze to Daniel, his worn work clothes, his tired face, his small son clutching his hand. For a long moment, silence hung heavy in the air. Then Emily's mother approached Daniel. "You took her in without knowing who she was. You fed her, gave her shelter. Why?" Daniel swallowed hard. "Because she was someone's child. And I know what it means to protect a child, even when you have nothing." Emily clung to him one last time, before being guided into the car. Her eyes shone with tears. "I'll never forget you, or Michael. You showed me what family really means." Weeks passed, and life slowly returned to normal, or so Daniel thought. Until one morning, a letter arrived in the mail. Inside was a handwritten note from Emily. "Dear Daniel and Michael, you gave me a home when I had none, and love when I least deserved it. I've spoken with my family, and they want to thank you. Please accept this not as charity, but as gratitude for teaching me the true meaning of kindness." Beneath the note was a set of documents. Daniel's hands shook as he realized what they were: ownership papers to a small house, fully paid for, in their name. A place where Michael could finally have his own room, and Daniel could stop worrying about rent. Tears blurred his vision as he read Emily's final words. "You thought you saved me for one night. But in truth, you changed my life forever. Love always, Emily." Daniel folded the letter carefully, holding Michael close. For the first time in years, he felt hope stronger than fear. Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can open doors to miracles we never imagined. And maybe that's the kind of story worth remembering. If this story touched your heart, consider subscribing, because sometimes, one simple story can remind